Welcome to Fatman Beyond. I'm Kevin Smith.
I am Marc Bernardin.
Hey! Welcome back, folks. 2019, man. First show of 2019. Put your hands together. We made it.
Looks like we made it.
Yes. Country's still here, or at least California is. Feeling great about things, feeling positive about 2019. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go any fucking further, I want you to recognize and respect the fact that you're standing before greatness. One of us is a Writers Guild award-nominated writer. That's right. A little bit late and shit, but they finally recognized my ass for yoga hosers. And
Long overdue.
Marvelous Marc Bernardin, a man who sits before you every time we do this show and spits wisdom about the art of writing, screenwriting, script writing, and otherwise and whatnot. Finally had somebody other than these fucking drunks recognize the fact that he knows what the fuck he's doing. The Writers Guild nominated what? Castle Rock?
Castle Rock, yes.
For what?
For Best Long-Form Original Series.
This is Castle Rock in Blu-ray form.
Yeah. So in honor of that, I'm going to give away a couple of DVD, like
Fucking spoilers.
VHS box sets.
Spoilers, man. Spoilers.
I got some 35mm cans in the back.
Film strips we can watch later on. There'll be a Viewmaster presentation. What happens, man, to your life when you're nominated for an award for your fucking field?
They make you pay for tickets to the ceremony is what happens.
Are you sure there's the Writers Guild and not the Writers Guild with a Y? Writers Guild?
Literally, I got an email. It's like, hey, congratulations on your nomination. If you want to buy tickets to the ceremony, they're going to cost you X. I'm like, but...
It's a fucking scam.
It's a guild, man. They got to get their dues.
That's true. Literally. So when is the event?
The 17th of February.
Who are you up against?
I don't even know. I'm not sure.
You fucking liar. Oh my God, you sit there in your bed at night going, I fucking hate that other show.
I swear to God I don't.
You don't know?
No.
You know what? Doesn't matter. Good for you. You're not competitive.
Joe Paterno. HBO's Joe Paterno miniseries.
Who wrote that?
I have no idea.
I think it was David Mamet, wasn't it? You're fucked.
This was fun, guys. Thank you.
I don't know who wrote that. So wait, you guys are a series. That was a movie. What's the category again?
Long form original.
So, I don't know. It seems like you guys got unfair odds. You get like 10 bites at the apple. They had one for 2 hours. You got 8 more hours. You should win the award just for more.
That's what I figured we're going to do.
Pretty much.
Yay!
You did it!
All right. Thanks, guys.
Well, I don't know if you're going to win the award, but I have an award to present you. It's your very own Fatman Beyond crest. That's right, Mark. There
Look
you
at
are.
Me. I'm on a crest.
All you need is
you.
a jersey to put it on, or you can put it on back of a leather jacket or a denim jacket and shit.
I'm going to get it framed and then put on a chain so I can Flavor Flav this shit.
Oh, my God. How genius. I never thought of that.
That's going to be awesome. Thank you.
How were your holidays as a Writers Guild
As a Writers
nominee?
Guild,
Did it all change when you went back home?
Nobody else seemed to know, and I just kept on breezing into rooms, expecting like rose petals on the ground, like fucking Prince Hakeem, like, oh, he's here. None of that shit, man. It was just, hey, good to see you again. You get to sleep in that room. It's like, geez, thanks, Mom.
That's the writer's room.
Yeah. It was good. It was really busy. I was back east, seeing my wife's family and my family, and so 10 days of jockeying between people, asking me why I don't have a job. It's always fun.
But you tell them you were nominated for an award?
I told them, yeah, they're like, yeah, but where's your job? I'm like, well, Treadstone just wrapped at the end of December, and so I'm gainfully unemployed until I find the next job. Like, when's that going to be? I don't know. Could be February, could be June. They're like, that's not a way to live. You have a family. How do you... 6 months without work? It's like, that's okay. It's how we do it.
You should just sit there and be like, you know, you're really turning me around here. Where's the nearest Dunkin'? I'm going. It's all about responsibility and shit like that. Don't they know that you're an artist and you're irresponsible and you only care about yourself?
Well, no, I made that abundantly clear. Yeah, fuck these people. They're on their own. But it was good. It was good. I got to eat all of the East Coast food that I miss. And so I gained like 10 pounds in the process. As you can see, I'm now pleasantly plump.
I don't see it.
I'm a big, beautiful woman now.
A BBW action.
BBW right now. Hey. Or I got the third C on thick. Usually you just get 2 C's. I went for the third.
That's what you got back east.
Yeah, totally.
I was here for the holidays. We didn't really do much. We hung out here, and then I had Babylon on New Year's Eve. But this week, I just got done with Saturday right now. Yesterday in the afternoon, I got done directing my 3rd episode of the Goldbergs. Yes. I showed them how to make that fucking show for once. It's a ridiculous job. They can make that show very well without me, and do many, many times over and over. But they let me go and hang out, and I'm always reminded, before I go, I'm like, oh man, why am I going? They don't need me. And then when I'm there, I don't care if they don't need me, because you're getting to watch really incredibly talented folks, just genius level comedic talents, ad-lib within a small box, right? They can't just fucking say anything they want. They got to say it TV worthy. And like legit make me laugh. So like, it's a job that you leave, and like I got some legit belly laughs like throughout the day. It was real fun to watch them do their thing. But they really, as I've said a million times, they don't need a director, let alone me. Anybody could just be like, action, cut. Like it's really kind of controlled by the writers, and rightfully so. It's like a writer's paradise. But I was supposed to direct an episode, the 3rd episode, the day after I shot my Showtime special in Glendale back in February 25th, the night I had the heart attack.
Yeah, you're busy.
Yes. So I was like, I shot the special that night, and I was supposed to shoot 2, but then fucking my heart was like, fuck you. And so we didn't shoot the second one. And then I was supposed to go to work the next morning on the Goldbergs. So they had to tell him that like, he's not coming. And they're like, why? And they're like, he almost died. And they're like, oh, all right. So I haven't been able to return since, like just schedule-wise. So this is my first time going back. And when I got there, I was like, hey man, I can't wait. Like this is gonna be fun. I said, but I'm gonna wait until the end of the day to test my theory that it was you fuckers that gave me the heart attack and shit. So made it all the way through, no heart attack. Had a good time. Made a really funny episode. They did. I watched like a dirty little cuck from the corner and shit. Kind of like what directing TV feels like. You just sit there and fucking bark shit from the corner, like, do it faster. Yeah, say that again. You kiss her, now kiss the other one. They're like, that's not in the script. I'm like, oh yeah, all right. Too far, Jeff Garland. It was fun, man. It was a good week and shit. And so awesome. I'm all done with that. This week, I got some interviews to do, some podcasting. Then I go away for a few days to do some gigs on the road, going to Phoenix with Ralph to do Babylon. Then I'm also going to Canada, man, Saskatchewan.
Ooh.
For 3 dates in Saskatchewan.
Deep
man.
Canada.
That's right, man. You ain't kidding. I was telling somebody today, I was at a car dealership for the kid, and the guy was like, Saskatchewan? That's one of the lesser known provinces. It's like, I guess. I don't know. I won't tell him you said that. And then a week after that is Sundance, man. Going up to Sundance to interview people again. Stick microphones in the face of talented people and be like, tell me how to do it and shit like that.
How is IMDb going to get a boat to Sundance?
Fitzcarraldo style, man. We just fucking tug that shit right up the hill. They've teamed up with Acura this year. And there are these igloo-type tents that they build that we're going to be interviewing people at. I saw the list of people, man. It's fucking nuts. There's a lot of folks that we're talking to. And this is like the 3rd or 4th year I think we're doing it. So far, so good, man. That'll be fun.
Awesome.
Then after that, off to make a movie. Yeah, it's more on that. But hey, speaking of movies, before we go any further, because of what we do, I don't know if I assume it's the same for you, but I never really ask. Because of this job, do you get sent shit that promotes other shit?
No. They send you shit because you're fancy.
I guess.
They don't send so much shit for the dude next to fancy. Unless you're a
fancy adjacent.
Unless you're Captain Fancy from NYPD Blue. Maybe that guy gets some shit. I don't get anything.
I've been sent some shit, and I was like, oh shit, like I might as well talk about it on the show. They sent it to me for promotion, so I might as well help them promote it. But it is kind of cool, and it also makes you go, holy fuck, how much did they spend on this shit? Because if they sent one to me, and they didn't send one to you, but I don't know who the fuck else they sent it to and shit. There must be hundreds of these things out there. This, first of all, came from the folks that did the Venom motion picture. They had some sort of team up with Brisk Ice-T. So
Brisk is in like the superhero movie business. They did that big fucking Black
for
Panther
the Black
thing.
Panther,
Giving away fucking Samsung tablets and iced tea cans.
They
with
must have made a
Killmonger
deal
in it.
with Marvel and keep like doing these things, but this is different Marvel than that Marvel, right? Like that was Black Panther. This was Sony Marvel for Venom. So I didn't see the movie. Mark did. He reviewed it, and then finally I saw the movie over Christmas break. It came on iTunes, and one morning I was up and it was blazing, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's watch Venom and shit." Thank God I was stoned, because like it really
It makes sense if you're stoned.
it was a fun ride, Blaze, because I remember you were like, "Fuck this movie," and so I
Give or
was
take.
I was high, and I was like, "No, not yet, don't fuck it," and kept watching. My only complaint was it took an hour to get to Venom, but Tom Hardy is so fascinating to watch that like. You know, I said, like, I'd watch him read the fucking phone book before. Like, I was fine to watch him walk around and just make shit up as he went along. That's what it seemed like. The performance was literally him just going, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to try this. And I was always, constantly, scene after scene, impressed by the balls of this movie. Like, you know, you've got templates out there. Like, Marvel makes all these amazing comic book movies. You even know how not to do it based on some of the DC shit and whatnot. So, you know, the X-Men have been doing it for years. Like, there's a way to make a superhero movie, and this didn't do it. It refused every step of the way, and it refused to like take the last step and be an R-rated movie. They tried to have their cake and eat it, but like the whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, "Fuck, I respect this." Careers will be lost, and it wasn't the case. Everyone got rewarded. The movie made like $800 million and shit.
Yeah.
They're gonna make a fucking sequel. So fortune favors the bold, man. They like really swung for the fucking fences. Another one of these movies that like all we heard about was like Troubled. It's in trouble. This movie's a piece of shit and whatnot. And it came out, and everybody was like, "Good enough," and just fucking watched the movie, man. Apparently, they loved it overseas. So I enjoyed it. By the time Venom showed up, I was like, "Right the fuck on, more of this, less of the first hour." And then when you know Michelle Williams does what she does in the movie, I mean, like they got crazy great actors across the board.
I don't understand how, but really though?
Oh yeah. But come on,
like
man.
for
Everybody
Venom?
wants to be in a fucking everyone wants to be in a superhero movie. It's Sony, so they'll probably throw some bucks around. I'm sure if there were people that don't know the character in the cast, if there's still some fucking people out there that are like, "The comics?" Like, and somebody in their life didn't explain this is a good thing to fucking do. You know, they know someone with a kid who's like, "Oh my God, Marvel, you should do it," and shit. So they wind up with a really great fucking cast of classy fucking actors that whole step of the way, even though the movie at times makes very little sense, it's held together by great performances. Like, and again, I was blazed, give it, that as well. So I was in for the whole fucking ride, man. And by the end of it, I was like, holy shit, carnage. So I good times, at least if you're watching it December 30th at 4 a.m. and you're blazed. I don't think they were thinking of me when they made it, but fuck, they had me and shit. So anyway, this was something that they sent along as their premium. Came in a box that says fragile, handle with care, open immediately, and it has a bunch of shit in here from the Life Foundation, which if you've seen the movie, they're somehow responsible. They're the ones that found the Venom symbiote. What did she say in the movie? Symbiote. This it's from the Life Foundation. Attention, Kevin Smith. There's a letter.
Nice, personalized.
And and I felt really important. And it says Life Foundation Training Center, curated by Brisk. And that's when I started to be like, is this a commercial? Discovery of symbiotes. The office of Dr. Carlton Drake reference number blah, 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 see Venom. Attention, Kevin Smith, congratulations. You have been hand-selected by Dr. Carlton Drake and the Life Foundation to take part in an exclusive symbiote examination. You have been identified as a possible match and outstanding candidate across all laboratory measurement standards: host capability, social engagement, ability to connect with others. They want my fucking vote.
Yes, they want your followers.
Yeah,
man.
no doubt. Symbiotes, and then they explain to me what they are. I felt like writing them back and be like, let me tell you what fucking symbiotes are. We are sending you this specimen for your own inspection. Please handle with care and at your own risk. Regards, the office of Dr. Carlton Drake. So this is what, everyone be careful. There's a thing inside that says Brisk by Venom. Like, look at the money.
What is it?
Hold on to this. You be
all
my
right.
mic stand.
Okay, I got you.
Here we go. It's heavy. I feel like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Keep your eyes shut. What? What the fuck? And more importantly, why the fuck?
It looks like one of those things like when in the 70s you were putting money in the bank and you put it in the tube and it goes up the pneumatic system.
Shunk.
But more importantly, like, somebody fucking spent some money on this, man. I mean, I know it's just a bunch of stickers that say Brisk and Venom and Life Foundation, but like these plastic containers, which will never die for 500,000 years,
But what
are
is
pretty fucking well made. It is, dare we open it, lest the symbiote jump out?
It is just a fucking canister for iced tea? I mean...
And it's hard to get the iced tea out. There you go. It's for a Brisk iced tea, symbiotic dark cherry limeade. It's only 60 calories. So apparently, Brisk, do we take a sip?
No.
Apparently,
No, we don't.
Brisk got into business or, sponsorship deal with good folks at Sony and put this out there in the world. And, it's a container, I guess, kind of looks like the one they had in the movie and shit like that. Now, I will never play with this.
But it's not even a thing it's just a fucking canister.
I know, but somewhere there must be somebody who's like, I fucking love Venom. I was fucking like 100 million of that 800 million and shit. And I'm hoping they're at the bar tonight. And they
Good
can
for
walk
you.
home with it. Who wants this? Say no. You in the back? You're
Sam
into
and Bob
it?
wants it.
Come on up. You got to tell me why.
Yeah. Listen, this is not a suppository.
I mean, it's got to be useful for some shit, right?
Suppository.
What's your name, son?
My name's Tanner.
Everyone give it up for Tanner.
From the neighborhood Sam and Bob here.
I know, you look familiar. It's like looking in the mirror. Why would I'm not judging you, but why would you want this, and be honest?
Because I have a friend who has a Venom tattoo, and I think he would really like this.
Fucking nice. So you're a good friend. You win, man. Charlie, you win the chocolate factory. Take this.
And you
that
can
goes
have
with it.
the
That's
case with all the
certification.
fucking branding.
Yeah, man. Make sure, and then also
Don't
keep
forget
this
the
protected.
branding.
Throw that in here.
I mean, it's...
Damn. Brisk, it worked, man. This is going to make someone very happy. Thank you for taking that on.
It is this weird thing of like just how low rent Venom is a movie, is that's the fucking merch that they give away. Like for Black Panther, you got a tablet. You got drinks that had people's faces on it. You got the fancy ass Kamoyo beads, which I still wear and make people nervous. But it's just a fucking case.
Yeah.
What do you do?
You won't stop shitting on Venom, will you? Even when it comes to their premium. You're
Only
like,
when
fuck
I
it.
start shitting on Aquaman.
Oh. Well, before you talk about that DC movie, let's talk about another DC movie that they sent me another premium for.
Okay.
This
All right.
is
okay.
the official Shazam ugly Christmas sweater. It comes with batteries, so you put it in, and then, of course, the Shazam lights up.
Smarter.
It also comes with instructions that tells you how to wash it, because it's got electronics in it and shit. once again, man, somebody spent some fucking money on this. And they sent it to me. I'm pre-sold, so, hopefully this sells a few more tickets for them because that was their intent. But it's safe to say I'm never going to wear this.
Are you sure?
Even if I love the movie, and honestly, I look like I sounds fucking stupid, but I welled up watching the trailer. I'm probably never going to wear this. But somebody in this room is a fucking huge Shazam fan, or knows one, or knows a small child that could wear a men's XL shirt.
Or if
Cat Ears, get up here, man. Give it up for Cat Ears. She wins the fucking Shazam shirt.
See, now I was going to see if anybody knew what the Shazam stood for.
Isn't it Socrates, Hercules?
Wisdom of Solomon.
Solomon, that's
Strength
it.
of Hercules.
Yes.
Something of A.
Adonis or Ares. Not war. Adonis. What is it?
Stamina of Atlas.
Stamina of Atlas.
Something of Zeus. Something of A, and then Mercury.
So you don't even know.
I don't know,
You're
but they didn't send it to me. I just wanted to know if anybody else knew, because I'm in the dark on Shazam.
All right. Now that we've promoted their movie, and everyone goes see Shazam when it happens, if you're a comic book fan, you should. That being said, I reviewed Aquaman very favorably.
Was it favorably?
I enjoyed it, yeah. My review, I talked about how much I enjoyed the movie. I did. Look, I'm not going to shit on this company when they start making steps in the right direction.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was easy to be like, fuck, what are you doing with Justice League and shit like that? But if this movie has any fault whatsoever, it's that it has too much fucking movie, and that should never be considered a fault. That's somebody who's trying. Watching Aquaman, and we watched it together, was equivalent to like fucking somebody blowing you. You come and they keep fucking going. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Where, yes, it's fucking amazing, but holy shit, it hurts after a while. And so, I can't carp or crap on the movie or anything like that. I love that James threw in everything. The ethos seemed to be, we don't know if we're ever going to get a shot at making another one of these. How many fucking Aquaman movies are they going to let us make? Let's just fucking spend it all, man. Push all in and shit. So much so they're like, we're out of villains here. Like, take them all in the first movie. We'll make up new ones. Like, and it worked. They've been rewarded financially, man. They made $1 billion fucking worldwide. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy for them. I give it up to them. Hopefully now they're like, all right, we get it. We'll make movies that people enjoy.
We'll make movies that feel like comic book movies, and not like funeral dirges.
Because that movie, I've spoken to a lot of people. Like, I went to work on a Goldbergs, and there's some people on set who were like, "What did you think of Aquaman and stuff?" And heard various opinions about the movie and stuff. But my point was always like, view that movie through the prism of a child, like 9 years old. Oh my God, that would be your shit. And everybody was like, my little cousin, my son, my grandson. They fucking loved it. My granddaughter, my niece, whatever the fuck. Like, everyone knew a kid that loved the movie. And I'm like, that's who it's fucking for at the end of the day, man. And like, if you get anything out of it, like, good. That's fun. It's escapism and shit. But it's not meant to make you like change your life. It's just like, we did Aquaman and we didn't fuck up. Give us money. And that's pretty much what it said on the poster. And they were rewarded with the money. I gave them mine. I went back and saw it again.
Wow.
You?
I did not go back and see it again. But listen, I do agree.
Yeah, I've paved the road. Now you could say
you paved the road. I do agree with one sentiment for sure, which is it is the most Aquaman movie you're ever going to get.
Oh my God!
And they do not steal
It's all
away.
the Aquaman.
It's all the Aquaman, and it's never afraid to be an Aquaman movie.
Yeah.
Which you can say that Man of Steel is a little afraid to be a Superman movie.
Oh my God, it's so true.
You can say that Batman v Superman is afraid to be a Batman movie.
Or an entertaining movie.
His words, not mine. His words, not mine.
That's not bullshit. I've watched that movie. I'm walking that back. I've watched that movie so many times. I do find it puzzlingly entertaining. beside myself.
How did you make this so bad?
And it's not so much that. I'm just like, every time I watch it, I'm like, no, it's going to fucking kick in right now. Now, credits. Fuck. You know, but I'm there for it, man. I'm there for it. But I think Aquaman is what they should be doing. Taking big swings with shit that's not interconnected, that's got a lot of imagination. They conquered the 7 seas before Marvel did. Marvel could have with like Namor if they had the rights. I don't even think they have the rights.
Don't think so yet.
But the way Marvel took over space with Guardians of the Galaxy and DC had a chance, they beat them there with Green Lantern and everyone was like, ew! And then Guardians of the Galaxy, everyone was like, ah. So DC dove into the ocean first and now it's theirs. They can make a bunch of these fucking undersea movies and shit.
Yeah, and they probably will, as long as they have Jason Momoa in them.
Yeah.
Because, like, that dude is legit fascinating to watch.
Yes.
Like, he's super
He's
entertaining.
trying so fucking hard.
He really is. Like,
And
it's
succeeding.
Through sheer force of will does he make that character engaging. Because the character, as written, is not really. Like, I found myself in that movie way more invested in well, Black Panther, sure, all the time.
Black Manta all
Black
day.
Manta,
Yeah.
all day, in his parents, all day. But, like, what does...
Whose parents? Aquaman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the emotional resonance of that movie is his parents getting back together again at the end of it.
Right.
Like, that's the first time you actually feel something for real. Where are you going to sign
Jesus.
that? But yeah, like there's 2 things that I want out of a heroic story. Is
Okay.
I want your hero to change over the course of the story so that what he does at the end, he could not have done at the beginning.
It's really hard. It's carved out of wood, it feels like. Is this carved out of wood? Who's Jesus? Whose Lord is this? 3D printed? This is your own personal Jesus? I'm going to go home now. My job here is done. It's beautiful. What, these are a gift? What are these? Holy shit, I see me and my kid and Stan Lee. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's beautiful. There's a photo of me and the kid and Stan Lee from
It's a nightlight, so you
from
can plug
San
it
Diego
in.
years ago, and you plug it in and it glows. You made this? Stand up, man. Take credit for this shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Say hello to the folks at home. What's your name, kind sir?
Ryan Miller.
Ryan Miller. Everyone give it up for Ryan.
Good job.
While I show these off, tell the story of what they are. Tell them.
Well, I decided to make something for Kevin, for Jay Muse, and one for Mark. Each one's 3D printed lithopane. So when you see it just without light, it just looks like a 3D print. And then when you put it up to the light, an actual picture comes out.
It is gorgeous.
That's awesome.
So that one's Mark's.
And this is Jason and me and Stan.
Correct.
From when we did spoilers. Gorgeous.
That's amazing.
My God, and I get to keep these.
One's for Mark.
I get to keep mine.
This one's for Jay, and that one's for you.
Oh my God, these are incredibly fucking sweet, man. I didn't bring you anything. Oh, you know what? I did. Do you like weed?
Oh, I love weed.
This right here is a rolling tray, and on it is the Jersey Brotherhood local card, the dealer weed card.
Very nice.
From Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. This is made by the good folks at Famous Brands. We make stuff with them, pipes and shit like that. It's not necessarily weed oriented, but fuck, that's what I roll on. So here you go. Thank you.
Thank you. I
We
appreciate
fucking
it.
traded. It's beautiful, man. Thank you. We got shit, dude.
Look at that.
Okay.
Fuck Aquaman.
Continue about Aquaman.
Nah, man, my thread is all ruined now.
Is all what?
No, okay. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Really quickly.
Yes.
When I watch a movie like Star Wars, like The Matrix, like Purple Rain,
Yes. You're going to use Purple Rain to indict Aquaman?
I absolutely will.
Oh, I got to hear this. Go.
Because the kid in Purple Rain, at the beginning of that movie,
Yeah. He
Could-
can't talk to sharks.
he cannot talk to sharks. But that is not he could not have at the beginning of that movie written Purple Rain. He was not
The song
evolved
Purple
enough.
Rain.
The song Purple Rain.
Right.
He could not have done, Baby I'm a Star. He could not have made up with Apollonia. He had to go through shit to be the person he is by the time that movie ends.
Mind you, one of those things was abuse his girlfriend.
Yes, he's an awful human being. One of those things
It
is
was
also
the 80s.
his father has to kill himself. Aquaman, Arthur Curry, is the same person from the beginning of that movie as he is at the end of that movie. He doesn't learn anything about himself over the course of it. And the guy who you see in a bar beating up other dudes or taking smiling fucking selfies with him is the same guy that defeats Orm at the end. He doesn't learn anything over the course of that movie. Luke Skywalker learns to trust the fucking Force, right? Neo learns how to fucking bend time and absorb damage and be the one.
Right.
Aquaman is Aquaman throughout. So
he starts as
and finishes as. And there's something kind of hollow occasionally about a hero who doesn't learn anything over the course of that. And he doesn't have a want in that movie. He doesn't have a want that the movie answers for him. Luke Skywalker wants to leave that planet and take part in a larger world. Mm-hmm. Neo wants to find out why his life is so hollow and what is the Matrix. The kid wants to be a fucking star. And so but over the course of that movie, the movie answers that need. The movie gives him that thing. What does Arthur Curry want? Does he want a home? Well, he's got a really good relationship with his dad. He knows who his mom is. He knows where his home is. He knows all of it. He's rejected it, but he knows it. Mm-hmm. Is it, do I want to be the king of Atlantis? Not really. He keeps wanting to push that away at every turn. Maybe he wants to reunite with his mom, but he doesn't know she's alive until he sees her again. So because he has no want, the movie gives nothing to give him to reward him for enduring what he has to endure, which isn't very much. And so as kaleidoscopic as the movie is, as much fun as it is occasionally, it never harmonized, it never rhymed with itself. It never gave you something more solid at the base to make all of the stuff at the surface worthwhile.
May I rebut your argument?
Rebut away, my friend.
Armored fucking sharks, motherfucker. Sharks with armor, man. Weaponized fucking sharks. I hear you. And I've stood next to you long enough doing the show that when we watched the movie, even I was thinking oh, Mark's going to be mad. This motherfucker ain't got a journey.
He's got no goddamn journey.
So I knew we'd be back here and stuff. And you're probably right. At the end of the day, that's generally what's needed.
But the movie does enough so well
yes,
that it's next to Wonder Woman, it's my favorite of the, I guess, Snyderverse of these things.
of the post-Nolan verse.
Of the post-Nolan verse, this is easily my favorite.
Where is it compared to the Nolan stuff?
The Nolan stuff is,
Still the high bar?
Yeah, it's like B+, A+, B+, maybe,
Okay.
B,
Okay.
A-, A+, B+. Feels about right.
Where would you put Aquaman?
Aquaman's like a solid B-. It's super entertaining. It's way above a passing grade.
Yeah.
But it's a little hollow at its core. But
They studied for the test, but just enough.
just enough.
Hence the B-.
Hence the B-. You still got your GPA. You're still improving over the other stuff, but
Any fault that I may have had with it, I absolutely let go in the face of the fact that they included that Black Manta storyline and gave it an arc. We saw the whole birth of the origin of the villain.
I know what that guy wants.
Yeah.
I know exactly what he wants. I know what drives him. I know he loses something over the course of it that prompts him to become a more fully realized villain.
Right.
Arthur Curry doesn't lose anything. He just swans in and woohoo!
Do you think?
Oh yeah!
He is. He's
Redheads, man.
He's the king of the broshin, yo. I enjoyed it. I wonder what they'll do next, though. Just like Wonder Woman, I really enjoyed it, and I was like, all right, man, what do you do next? And when they said Cheetah and Kristen Wiig, I was like, fucking take all my money. I'm so interested. And then they were like, it's in the 80s. I'm like, Jesus, you fucking had me at hello. So I am so fucking curious, though, where they go next. No filmmaker wants to hear that. You make something like that, it looked like it took forever and all the money's in the world and shit. And my first thing is like, oh, what are you going to do next? But I am kind of curious where they go. I mean, obviously it'll include Black Manta again because spoilers, is still alive.
Also, I bet you lots of it is underwater.
Yeah.
He's not going to space. Although that would be kind of rad, though.
He did go to the desert, though, which you wanted.
I did.
You talked about on one of the shows. You were like, I wish they would put him in fucking the desert. And
they
they
never
did.
show like the 4 months where they walk out of the desert because they jumped out of a plane and don't have any money and they're in the desert. And then they're not.
That's
and
what
can't fly.
I fucking hear you. That's what I look for in my Aquaman realism.
I'm looking for the travelogue, man.
Like I said, just passed $1 billion. So, holy crap!
No, I mean,
Big win for them. Did Wonder Woman hit $1 billion?
Wonder Woman
Came close, right? It was like 800 or something.
870 something.
So this is fucking massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
And a big sigh of relief too, because now it means they'll keep going. All right, we can do a comic book movie. Let's do another one. Let's do another one.
Yeah, and it speaks to the idea that it's the Deadpool, right? It's the make the most movie that's like the thing that you can.
Yeah.
Be true to what it is, and people will come.
Yes.
I mean, Deadpool is a better movie, but Deadpool is the most Deadpool movie you're ever going to get. This is the most Aquaman movie you're ever going to get.
Oh, it was fucking soaking wet. It was a seafood buffet. It was like going to Red Lobster.
Yeah.
And, buffet night. All right, man. Fuck all that. Is that all we got up front for?
I got one last thing.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that I started another podcast? That I'm cheating on you with somebody else?
You chose to tell me in public, in front of people, so that I wouldn't go ape shit, man. You're Bob Sugaring me, you motherfucker.
I know. It's like when you get fired and they bring security up to make sure that you don't just wild out on people.
I am somewhat aware of this. This is the one that you were doing with, what was her name on the show?
Caprica 6.
6?
Yeah.
Trisha Helfer?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you talked about a while back. I'm glad to know this is happening. Tell
I
me.
did, yeah. The Battlestar Galacticast. I am...
Great name.
Thank you. I am co-hosting with Trisha Helfer, and we are watching every episode of Battlestar Galactica. Week by week by week by week by week.
What a hard job.
It's the worst. Because A, she's hard to look at.
Right.
And B, not at all charming.
Right.
And C, I hate the show.
For me, it would go number 1, Canadian. Number 2, she was on the show. Number 3, Canadian. Just to be able to talk to a Canadian every fucking week on a podcast.
It is so sweet.
Yeah.
Like, she's got a house full of cats, and I'm allergic to cats. And so we record at her house, and every time I show up, there's like a little Claritin on a dish waiting for me. Because she knows that if she doesn't do that, I will die quickly.
Until one day it's not a Claritin. And you're just like, what's happening to me? And she just starts rubbing cats all over you.
You thought that was funny, motherfucker.
How long you been doing it? What episode are you on?
We drop every episode on Tuesdays.
Nice.
We just did 102, so we did 2 episodes for the miniseries, and then the first one 33, second one Water, and then we do the third one Bastille Day next Tuesday.
I loved that show. So fucking good. One of my favorite TV moments of all time is the Galactica in what season? I think it was the last season, or maybe the season before the last season, when the Galactica drops and does the jump right into the planet's surface.
The
and it's
drop and
fucking,
pop.
Oh my God, it's fucking breathtaking. Like, they do light speed jumps in the show. And what do they call it? There was a name for
The
it.
FTL.
The FTL drive.
Faster than light.
And they would fucking, turn a key and then they would do their version of, what do they call it? Warp drive in Star Trek and fucking
Where did my
light
names go?
speed in Star Wars. So it would show, go leave one place and then show up in another. That's how fast it was going. And shit. You've seen the concept before. But they did this jump close to the surface. They had to save all these people and stuff that were on the planet. New Caprica, is that what it was?
Yes.
And in order to get them in and get the fighters out real low, the fighter ships, they dialed up the FT. I'm going to cry talking about it. It was so fucked. I remember sitting there, but my wife was next to me going what are they doing? I was like, shut the fuck up. And I was so dialed in, and she was like, what? And I was like, nobody's ever done this before. If they're doing what I think they're going to do, nobody's ever fucking done it. Oh my God, they fucking did it! And her excitement, my excitement caught up to her. She was like so excited. She didn't even know what the fuck was going on and shit. the ship dialed their FTL and dropped into the lower atmosphere of the planet, just fucking appeared 200, maybe fucking 10,000 feet, where a plane would be taking off.
Right. And it's falling because it can't fight the gravity. So you just see the heat bloom on the bottom of it, and it crashes towards the ground just long enough to let the fighters out.
All the fighters are fucking launching out, and just before it's about to hit the planet, they fucking jump again. Oh, it was so fucking awesome. That episode you don't get to for like 2 years.
A couple of years. But we'll have you on for that one. It's like, listen, Kevin really wants to talk about this episode.
I'm going to claim that real estate. Well, that's awesome. Where can they find it?
Wherever your local podcastery is found, Apple, iTunes podcasts, whatever they're calling it this day.
Battlestar Galacticast.
Battlestar Galacticast.
Excellent fucking name. Give it up for Mark, man. He's a multimedia maven.
So much fun.
All right. We got news.
We got news.
Marc Bernardin, in his former life, his secret identity prior to this existence, prior to becoming a Writers Guild nominated writer, used to write the news, cover the news, man. He was a gumshoe. He was a guy with a press card and the fucking bill of his Stetson and whatnot. That's right. So we turn to Mark every week and we say, go to the internet and pull up all the news and
steal the news other people have reported and tell us.
And it keeps him warm. It keeps that old journalistic instinct.
It really does. And then I start talking like I'm in some 30s movie. Hey, what do you got? What's the news? What's the skinny, yo?
Mark has a bunch of news for us. Give it up for Marc Bernardin. He found the news!
News. All right. Hey, so you know that Disney Fox deal is happening for real?
The Disney Fox deal, as we enter 2019, long rumored, and we all thought it was a done deal.
Yes.
They're now acknowledging, oh yeah, that is for real.
They're now acknowledging it's for real. And there's beginning to be a little bit of fallout from the deal, not the least of which is that rumor has it that most of the Fox X-Men spin-off movies are kind of dead. Boo.
Wait, explain. So what about
X-Force?
Dark Phoenix?
Dark Phoenix will come out this year. New Mutants.
That's still happening? We can't stop it?
We can't. You cannot get in the way of the Dark Phoenix. Yeah, Dark Phoenix and New Mutants are happening.
Okay.
For sure. They're already shot. They're being edited.
But wait, the Deadpool spin-offs? X-Force?
X-Force, Gambit, Kitty Pryde, Doctor Doom even. Most of those things are going to fall by the wayside.
All the toys go back to Kevin Feige?
All of Fox's toys go back to Kevin Feige.
I'm happy. That makes me happy, man. They're in the right hands. And now that means he gets back Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four.
Yes, the Fantastic Four,
We may
too.
finally get the Fantastic Four movie that we've all been dreaming about and stuff. Something that really captures our imagination. The bar is high because Brad Bird made that movie and it was called The Incredibles.
Yes,
so they got to figure out a way to fucking do it again. But if anybody can, it's Kevin Feige. I believe in that dude. That dude hasn't let me down yet, man. Like, trying to think of the Marvel movie that was like, it's all right. Thor Dark World. If that's the fucking worst thing you ever did to humanity, you're a saint in my book.
Yeah, it's not even that bad.
No.
But yeah, so Channing Tatum will not get to play Gambit.
Fuck! No.
Unless Kevin Feige's like, hey, Channing, do you want to play Gambit? Yay!
Yeah. I mean, I like Channing Tatum, but I wasn't like, oh, I got to see that fucking movie. What else? What goes by the X-Force is the only one that I'm like, really? I'd fucking still make that if I was Disney.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with Deadpool?
I mean,
how are they going to handle it?
I feel like Deadpool stays Deadpool. I think Fox, at the end of the day, will be its own imprint in a way at Disney. And that's where they'll be able to release the sort of adult versions of drama and action and that sort of thing. So there'll always be a Fox owned by Disney, and we'll totally get a rated R Deadpool 3 because why would you not make that money?
It's true. Fair enough.
I mean, Miramax was owned by Disney at one point.
It's true. That's why I have a career. All right.
Yeah.
That's great news. It seems like redundant news. We knew this already.
Yeah, we didn't know yet that like X-Force was probably just not going to happen.
Yeah, but we guessed.
We guessed.
But now they're being like, yeah, you guessed right. Fuck
you guessed
it.
right.
Just turn them on.
Did I see the PG-13 Deadpool? Cat Ears asks. I did not. Did you?
No.
Once Upon a Deadpool?
I only watch that shit if it's on like basic cable and I come across it on a Saturday afternoon. Like, yeah, I watch Die Hard on FX because why the fuck not? It's Saturday at 4 o'clock, and I'm not doing anything.
Right.
I would not on purpose watch the edited version of something.
But they did more than edit it. They put in all new stuff with Fred Savage, right? It's its own unique journey, everyone keeps telling me. I'll watch it when it hits iTunes, but I was not going back to the theater. I was like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice with less cursing, shame the fuck on me. So, no, but I'll buy it, man. I happily, when I could watch it at home 4 a.m, smoking weed, being like, this is amazing. Fred Savage and everything.
Yeah.
This is such a great idea. I can't believe we live in a world where, like, that's something you would, like, maybe do on Funny or Die, and they're like, no, let's, like, do it for real in a movie theater. So that's kind of cool. It works.
Yeah.
I'm going to
I'll
say
watch
that's high
it
praise.
at 4 o'clock on a Saturday when it's on TNT.
I'm with you. All right, what else you got?
You know they're making a new Dune movie?
Yeah, it's our boy who did
Denis
Arrival.
Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve, who did the Blade Runner 2049 or whatever it was called. And he did something else I really liked as well. What is it?
Arrival.
I mentioned that one already.
Yeah.
It was before Arrival he did something.
He did Sicario.
Sicario, Prisoners. That I loved as well.
But so he's making a Dune movie, and they're casting it up.
He's doing Dune.
He's doing
As
Dune.
a feature, not
As
a
a
series.
feature.
Okay. One movie.
One movie.
But
wow.
it'll probably be the first of a trilogy.
Right.
Right.
But Timothy Chalamet is playing
The young Paul Atreides?
Young Paul Atreides.
Oh my God, that made my dick hard a little bit. Really? That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm fucking in. Well, I was already in because I like Denis Villeneuve, but like that Chalamet is Paul Atreides? The sleeper has awakened?
The Sleeper Will Awaken.
Fuck. Look out, fucking Peaches. You're getting fucked.
Stellan Skarsgård is playing Baron Harkonnen.
Hold on. Stellan Skarsgård. Is that the guy who with the suit?
That's the guy with all the scars.
And he had the
Yeah,
lifty
yeah.
suit and
Your
shit?
skin is like music to me, Baron.
Right.
Yeah, that guy.
Stellan Skarsgård. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with that. He's a
And,
great actor.
Dave Bautista was just cast.
As?
The Beast Raban.
Oh shit, man, that's
Yeah,
good.
Which is pretty fucking bad.
He'll probably get a bigger role this time around.
I would think so. They have yet to cast Fade,
Yeah.
which was played by Sting in the
Yes.
first one.
Memorably, Sting in a space bikini.
Do you think we need to get another rock star to do it?
No, and I'm not familiar. Did you read the books?
I did read the books.
Is Fade a much bigger character than he was in the movie?
He gets to be a bigger character. I mean, if I remember correctly, they don't kill him at the beginning of the first book the way they do in the movie.
It was Star Wars influenced by Dune? And if
yes,
it was,
yes.
who was Fade in Star Wars?
It's more that like Tatooine is basically Arrakis. And if you watch Star Wars, you can see that I think when the droids first show up, they're walking by the giant skeleton of what is ultimately supposed to be one of the Maker Worms.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
They reference that?
Yeah.
That's
visually.
what that was.
Mhm. And the spice.
All that fucking spice.
All that fucking spice.
All right, I'm on board for that movie. Can't wait.
Yeah. So Dave Bautista
All
is
good
in it,
fucking additions to that.
and Rebecca Ferguson is
I
also
spoke
gonna
to
be
him
in it.
about it, I think, San Diego at Comic-Con. And, he was like, look, I love the David Lynch thing. I like the miniseries. He's going, but, like, I loved the books, and I still haven't seen the book, and I'm going to do the book. So he's
Rock
got
on.
a vision, man, and
Excellent.
talent to back it up.
Speaking of Disney and Marvel, they are moving forward on the Vision and Scarlet Witch show.
That's happening.
That's
of course.
happening. They
Thank
hired
God.
a
Something to live
showrunner.
for. Who's the showrunner?
A woman named Jack Schaefer, who co-wrote Captain Marvel.
Oh, great. They
Yeah.
stayed within the cinematic stable.
Totally.
That's what the word is, that they're kind of not going to run that like a TV. It's certainly not being run through the Marvel TV division. It's being
Yeah.
run through Marvel
Right.
Films. Like
Feige.
Feige's in charge of this.
Feige's overseeing all of that stuff. They are doing a Loki show. They are doing a Winter Soldier and Falcon show.
Wow.
And they apparently are
This
also...
is on Disney
This is Disney Plus.
Plus.
Disney Plus. And there's also a rumor that they're going to do a Lady Sif show
In the Thoriverse?
in the Thoriverse.
She lived? She wasn't in Ragnarok.
She was in Ragnarok, I think, only because of a scheduling
Right.
problem. Not that she had died before then.
So maybe that's what the show's about.
Yeah. Or maybe it's unclear if it's going to be taking place before the fucking snap or after, or I think the Loki show is set before the snap, clearly.
Right.
But it's more him.
And in his case, there was a different kind of snap for him.
But I think it's more like,
Everyone's sitting there going, oh, very witty, Wild, very witty.
"Yes, nice job.
Thank you.
But I think it's more like Thor recounting his own greatest hits
That's what
I think
Lady
that's-
Sif would be?
I think that's what the Loki show is. I'm sorry, Loki recounting his greatest hits.
Oh, him going... okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Right. Because he is as full of himself as he is.
I'm in. I'm in for all that, man. That sounds fucking delicious. And if it's coming right from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you know, I'm not the world's biggest Lady Sif fan, but I'll fucking watch that show. I'll watch the fuck out of it. I'll watch it twice, and I'll get high and watch it again. Can't wait. Take all my time away, man. I want to finish these shows, realize I'm 90, drop dead. There you go. That's my plan.
But there'll be more.
There's more. That's true.
There'll be more.
Yeah, they're not going to leave anything untouched, are they? I mean,
No.
sure, I don't doubt this. You might have this in your news, but we're getting another Coming to America.
My next fucking thing.
I am all for this, man. I love those characters. I love that Eddie Murphy wants to go be funny and play around. I'd happily go back to that universe. Most of those people still alive.
I know. Do you want to know the plot?
You know it?
Yeah.
Let me guess.
Okay.
If it's Coming to America, he can't come back. He's not going to be divorced from the Queen because that would ruin the story. So it must be a second generation involved. Maybe the kid is coming here. Maybe Eddie Murphy is now the James Earl Jones role, and there's a younger Akeem, or probably in this day and age, it'll be a princess who does not want to marry and is coming to America to find her prince. Please tell me I'm right.
No, but close.
Okay.
It is also not what I wanted it to be,
Okay.
which was
This was your idea?
my idea would have been.
Obviously, we've been working on sequels in
I
our hearts
know.
for years.
I know, like brokering the peace accords between Zamunda and Wakanda. It is not that.
What is it?
In the sequel, Akeem learns about a long-lost son and must return to America to
Wait,
meet
his long lost son?
his long-lost son. Or a long-lost son.
So maybe his brother?
Could be his brother. Could be, I guess, a nephew. Maybe his dad got busy.
If it's a brother, it could be Kevin Hart.
It-
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to
Yeah,
cast
yeah.
real
No, it
quick.
will
Like,
be.
who would you, if you're casting, if the studio person, you're like, look, we got Eddie Murphy, man. We got Coming to America too, and that should be enough. But
How can we juice this?
How do we gild this lily? And you're like, Kevin Hart. So that would be my guess.
So he finds out about a long-lost son and must return to America to meet his unlikely heir to the throne of Zamunda. So it is his son and not a son.
So one of the girls in the bath, the royal dick is clean, Your Highness. Like who? That was.
Perhaps.
Did he have sex in America other than?
We saw a bunch of first dates. We don't know where those first dates went.
We know Semi had lots of sex.
He had lots of first and second dates.
All right, and that's the story.
The intention is to bring back the original cast, which includes Arsenio Hall,
Yay.
John Amos, and
Yay.
James Earl Jones.
I'm on board for all of this. Remembering that if we don't have Coming to America, you probably never have James Earl Jones in The Lion King.
No.
One happened before the other. One inspired the other. Like, and everyone's like, bullshit. It's true. So it's an important movie. It's, disposable, but it's a wonderful movie. The big thing when that movie came out was, remember the controversy about Art Linklater was like, this was stolen.
Yeah, it was a giant lawsuit. That,
Was it Art Linklater? No. Who was the guy that did it?
Fuck. Art Buchwald.
Buchwald, that's it. Art Buchwald. So I wonder what happens. Do they have to credit him?
Probably. Like, with grateful thanks to Art Buchwald.
Art Buchwald.
Like, that happened in The Terminator. Harlan Ellison sued James Cameron over theft of the idea.
Because he had written a story called The Soldier, I think.
Yeah, it was
that
an
was very similar.
And there was a episode of The Outer Limits that he wrote called Demon with the Glass Hand. And so he sued, and it did make the credits for the theatrical cut, but now if you watch it on video, it says, with thanks to the works of Harlan Ellison, is tucked into the credits somewhere. And I'm sure he got paid.
So Art Buchwald going to get paid again, but
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to get to see more adventures with Akeem. I'm all for that, man. There was no part of you that, even though I like my version of the movie better,
I think yours is better.
but I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Because I want Eddie Murphy to be funny again. He was the funniest man on the planet for like 10 years and then decided not to be funny anymore.
Yeah.
Like, how do you turn that fucking off? You know what, guys?
Maybe he just
No.
got bored. I mean, think about it. He was funny his whole life. It's not like he stopped being funny. He just stopped being funny in movies and shit. Probably in real life, he was like, I'm just as funny as I've ever been. He's like, but now, maybe I'll be funny in a movie again. I'm all for it, man. I liked when he did drama too, but fuck, like this is a good idea. As soon as I saw this, I was like, they had my fucking money. I want them to sequelize everything. Keep sequelizing my entire childhood until I fucking drop dead. That's all I want.
Just small wishes.
Yes, that's it. Shit that you'd never imagine. Come on, bitch. Nobody fucking ever thought this was going to happen. That's where we live, in a world of infinite, wonderful possibility. Like, yeah, the government's fucking weird, but this is amazing. And if they want to keep distracting us with like, here's Coming to America too, I'll forget all that shit and be like, yeah, show me that shit again. I'm ready, man. My heart's open to this.
All right. Last thing.
Last piece of news?
Last piece of news. It's less news, but just more remembrance, I think.
Okay.
January 10th was the 20th anniversary of Batman Beyond.
Wow. 20 years since that began.
Yeah. That's it?
Yeah, I mean, like, good for them. I really enjoyed it. I loved Kevin Conroy taking the older Bruce Wayne role. It gave us one of the greatest episodes of the Justice League cartoon, where Amanda Waller had to come back and tell Terry McGinnis the story of Bruce Wayne and his compassion with the Royal Flush Gang, the girl Ace. It's a beautiful fucking moment. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It wasn't as important to me or as meaningful to me, of course, as Batman the Animated Series. It asked me to get used to a lot of new concepts. And, you know, I went with them most of the way and stuff, but I love my Batman. But I absolutely respect the fuck out of Batman Beyond, not the least of which is, thankfully, it gave us a name for our new podcast right now. And hopefully we'll get 20 fucking years out of the name. You? They should do this as a live-action movie, like, today.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like, in a world where Into the Spider-Verse manages to breathe fresh life into Spider-Man, which didn't need that much fresh life to begin with.
I know, they were doing fine. It's not like, oh, fuck,
Yeah,
how do we sell
Homecoming is
Spidey?
fantastic.
Yeah,
You know,
and
but
they've got another one coming, which we
Yeah.
were all excited
But it
for.
radically redefines what a Spider-Man movie could be without forgetting any of what came before.
True.
And I think that if you're looking to either as an animated feature, and fuck it, I would totally do it that way, or even as live action.
They should do it live action.
Like, get fucking Michael Keaton back as Bruce Wayne.
What you just witnessed was my cum face. That's how I handle my wife as well. Good job.
We did
She
it.
just says shit that excites me, and I'm like, oh, that would be fucking amazing. Could you imagine? Oh my God, that movie makes $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right there, man. You're like, if Michael Keaton's come back, people are like, how is that possible? You're like, because he's fucking Batman Beyond, bitch. And people are like, oh, fuck, we wanted this our whole lives. This is fucking good. I'm down with this. When can we go?
I don't know. We'll talk to Matt Reeves. Be like, hey, I know you want to do like the Batman, but what
Right.
if you just did Batman Beyond?
I don't know if I'm them right now. Like, they're hot. Go for it, man. Show us another world. Think about it. Like, Batman Beyond allows you to show an audience a world they haven't seen yet. Just like Aquaman took us into the oceans and showed us quasi-futuristic shit. Batman Beyond is all fucking Blade Runner, come to life and shit. So take a Batman story and stick it in a universe we've never seen with new villains and shit that are variations on the
Tell us
old.
a Batman origin that we haven't heard 48,000 times before.
Exactly. And it's still connected to the Batman you all know and love. Like, there's Bruce Wayne. He's just old as fuck. And it's got a dog.
And it's
Ace the
got a
Bat Hound is in
dog.
this version, man. And
Hell
it's
yeah.
tender. It's this kind of father-son story dynamic. Even if you don't go that route and say they're related and stuff, it's still the mentor training the mentee. Is that what do you call
Yeah.
the person?
No, you got that.
Mentee? Minty fresh? I'm all for it. I hope they make this movie. But nobody's talking about it right now, right?
No, they should though. Warner Brothers, you should.
I mean, don't talk to them. Plead with James Wan. He's the one that's going to get it done. He's the guy that saw a visionary version of Aquaman, and his vision included visions of the past. When I talked to him at San Diego, I was like, we first saw the trailer. I said, "Fucking Black Manta looks like Black Manta, and fucking Aquaman, he's wearing in the Lego sculpture inside. He's got the orange shirt on. What the fuck, man? Why are you making shit look like it looks in the comics?" And he goes, because these are classic designs that have stood the test of time for 50 years. Why change them? Like, they work and shit. Give that guy Batman Beyond, man. That's what I'd say. Speaking of Spider-Verse, they won a Golden Globe.
They did Best Animated Feature.
Amazing. Give it up for Spider-Verse. A fantastic movie.
And like, even though Aquaman has been crushing everything at the fucking box office, making $1 billion, Into the Spider-Verse is very quietly made, like $278 million worldwide.
Worldwide? Oh, thank you. Worldwide?
Yeah.
What has it done here? Has it cracked 100 yet?
110 here. I think.
Shit. Good for them, man.
Yeah.
And again, like you would imagine, like, hey, it's Spider-Man, so it's pre-sold, but everyone's pre-sold on a Spider-Man movie. People weren't necessarily pre-sold on an animated flick, and my God, it was breathtaking. The only injustice of that Golden Globe win is that it was just limited to Best Animated Feature. That easily could have been the Best Feature of the Year, and they got 2 categories in which they put shit in those categories. It was that good. I think it still stands as my favorite movie of last year. Next week, we got another show. When is it?
The 22nd.
So 10 days from now. Am I right about that?
You
It's
are.
to the 12th? My God, my math still holds. When we return, we're going to do our list, top 10 list of 2018, all the stuff, the movies that we fucking love. Mark wanted to do it today, but I didn't get to do my list yet. So we'll wait until next
So I'm
week.
sitting on it.
But Spider-Verse, spoilers, probably top of my list. You?
Spoilers. I don't know.
Way to fucking create a little anticipation. Is that all the news?
That is all the news we have to say today.
There it
my
is,
friend.
folks. Mark brought you the news, and the news is done. Give it up for Marc Bernardin. Now we come to the other part of the show, man. The part of the show where we open the questions up to you folks. We turn the mics to the audience and do Q&A stees, man. Zach, you out there? Zach right there. He's got a microphone and whatnot. He's going to pick 3 people. We're going to bring them right up here so that they can catch you with this camera and they can see you at home. If we like your question and if it's relevant to both of us, that's the only thing we ask. Please don't ask us questions, that the other one can also play along with and shit like that. Like, don't ask me, Kev, what's it like to fuck your wife? Mark doesn't know, unless he does. So keep it about stuff that we can generally talk about together and stuff. But that being said, sky's the limit. What's your name, young camper?
Adam.
Everyone give it up for Adam. He's first tonight. Adam! Adam is wearing a Scum and Villainy Cantina t-shirt, very stylish and shit, something I've neglected to mention at the beginning of the show. We are, as always, right here at the Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard. Put your hands together so the folks at home know you're real. Better late than never. Anyway, over to you, Adam. What you got?
Well, first off, Kevin, hello.
Hey.
And Mark.
Hi.
My wife was going to the bathroom when you guys came out, so she came out like, Kevin said hi to me. I'm like,
We saw her. Yeah.
So-
If it's who I'm thinking of.
who knows? Okay, so my question for you guys is, with a constant change of reboots and remakes, we've already heard that they would never make a Back to the Future 4. So coming to you guys, Universal comes up to you guys saying, Mark and Kevin, we want you guys to reboot or remake the Back to the Future franchise. What is your guys' take on it, and who would you guys have for the roles? At least the 3 main, which is Biff, Marty, and Doc.
I would just basically count back 30 years from where we are now, and that would be the past, because that's what it would be. I wouldn't send them back to the 50s. That'd be fucking weird. They'd be grandparents at the beginning of the story and shit, which I guess is a way to do it and stuff. But essentially, they'd go back to like the 80s or coming close to the 90s at this point. Who would I cast? Marty McFly. That's how I cast shit. I don't know who I would cast, man. I'm trying to think who is Michael J. Fox. I mean, nobody could ever be Michael J. Fox, but who is in a Michael J. Fox-ish position? Tom Holland. Yeah, but Tom Holland's like fucking famous. That was my first instinct. I was like, Tom Holland would be amazing and stuff. But also, do we want, I don't know, shouldn't it be diverse? We've had a white Marty McFly. Shouldn't we be looking elsewhere and stuff? Donald Glover. Josh Hutcherson is pretty white.
But he's short. I guess diversity, you can be short and diverse.
I don't know. It has to, if you were casting based on how they cast Back to the Future, well, first they cast Eric Stoltz, and then they replaced him with Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox was on Family Ties, which, while not a number one sitcom, was in the top 10, if I remember correctly.
It was.
If not the top 15. So you have to, if you're using that, you look at what sitcoms are around anymore and popular, and maybe work from there. I just came off the Goldbergs, so I would cast that kid Troy, who plays Barry Goldberg on the show. I think he's a fucking genius. He reminds me of Jason Mewes, man. He's one of the funner aspects of doing that show because anything he says, he can make funny. And sometimes he doesn't even know that it's funny, but he fucking rocks it. It's amazing. So I don't know. You got ideas?
I mean, if
You're stumping me. Fuck.
If Universal came to me and said, I want you to redo Back to the Future, I would say no.
Yeah, but this is a story where they're like, you better do it.
We'll shoot your balls off. No, fine.
I don't know if you know this, but your balls are not up here.
Well, then, Mark, any special take or different version of you would do that?
I mean, I think if we're going to have to play the game anyway, gun to
Yes.
your head, you have to remake it. I think you're right. You don't go back to the 50s. I think maybe you go back to the 70s. Maybe you go back to disco, which feels as oddly diverged from our current reality as the 50s meant to the 80s. I think either Gaten Matarazzo, the kid from Stranger Things with the fucking curly ass hair.
Yeah.
That kid could be interesting.
Okay.
I think Zendaya could be really interesting as Marty McFly.
Oh, the girl from Homecoming?
Mm-hmm. Martine McFly. I think you could do that.
You know, that's a good fucking idea because suddenly it's just like, oh, we're in a different version already.
It's a whole different thing.
This time she's a girl.
And I think there's also a world in which you get fucking Michael J. Fox to play Doc Brown in this particular universe.
Oh my God, you almost made me cry. I want to see your version. That's fucking good.
Because it's fucking time travel. And especially the second movie explains to you multiverses and how each time you go back in time, you're altering the way time goes. And I think you can totally make a world in which Doc Brown is actually Michael J. Fox, or Marty McFly, the OG Marty McFly, is a fucking nuclear physicist who invents time travel.
I like your movie. Very, very much. Who would you cast besides Zendaya?
We need a Biff, right?
Yeah, Biff.
Fuck.
Nathan Jones? From Mad Max Fury Road.
Fucking, what the hell was his name? Nicholas Hoult. Also from Mad Max Fury Road.
What?
Yeah.
About a boy?
The About a Boy. Who's also...
He's playing Biff?
I want to ride eternal, shiny and chrome. Shh.
That's true. He was that guy, too. Yeah.
Beast. Do an American accent?
Yeah.
Jason Mewes.
Then I'll buy a ticket for sure. Fuck, that was good, man. That was a great question. You definitely win, and you know what you win for that? You are not only winning season 1 of Castle Rock, written by Marc Bernardin, but as you sit there and watch it, you're going to smoke weed out of a spoon pipe featuring Blunt Man and Chronic from the good folks at Famous Brands. Smoke them if you got them, my friend. Here you go. You win.
Tickets to ScreenX.
Are they?
Totally.
Oh my God! So we also have Brett Deacon, our good friend Brett Deacon, gave us tickets to not 40X, but what is this?
ScreenX.
ScreenX. So
Yeah,
what
that's
happens?
the one with the fucking, they have the walls. The walls are another screen.
Right.
So it becomes this like 280-degree cinematic experience.
It's lots and lots of screens.
Lots and lots of
They
screens.
got all the screens at ScreenX. Where is it?
I think there's one in Koreatown. There might be another one in LA.
Fantastic.
since
So
I've
that's
been.
what you're winning tonight, man. You're winning tickets to ScreenX. Go see any movie on a screen that's all the way fucking 180 screen, 160, no, 180
200,
degrees.
like, it's fucking like back here to all the way around here. And
Obviously, we don't know anything about the technology, but it sounds really cool. Then there's also Castle Rock Season 1, and there's also a Jay and Silent Bob pipe from Famous Brands. Question number 2 is coming from this young man. What's your name, sir?
Daniel.
Daniel. Everyone give it up for Daniel.
Hey, Daniel!
Thank you. All right, so my question is with the...
Hold on, he's going to give you a better mic.
this one's on. Great. All right, so with to piggyback on the reboot thing, you know all these new fantastic sci-fi reboots are coming, Star Trek, Star Wars, the one they just did on Netflix. When do you think we're going to get a Stargate reboot?
Stargate reboot. It seems easy, right?
Yeah.
To pull off. I was never a big... I saw the original Stargate in the theater, and then they did a series, which I never watched.
Yeah.
But clearly easy enough concept to pull off.
Yeah, I mean, Stargate. I don't know. I was never a huge fan of the series either. I watched, I think, the first season before they added an SG-1, or maybe after. I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like it feels as if it's ripe for a reboot that you can...
I'm thinking cinematic reboot where you keep Kurt Russell as the grizzled veteran going in.
Could
But,
still
yeah.
totally work. That's right. He was in the original.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, I don't know where those rights are.
Wasn't Jay Davidson in that as well?
Yeah.
The dude from the Crying Game.
Yeah, I think that was like the last time we saw Jay Davidson.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think you could make a reboot of it. I don't know if anybody is hungering for a Stargate reboot. I don't think it's gone long enough not being in existence for people to actually mount a real campaign for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we haven't gone without it for long enough. And it's not quite like, I mean, fucking Rocky. We went long enough without a Rocky movie to get Creed and then be like, oh,
But it also
shit.
ended with Rocky 4 and 5. That was...
Yeah. You know, so I think, yeah, there's a world in which it could happen. I mean, fuck it. There's a world in which you could have like a Buckaroo Banzai TV show. But there has to be that demand for it. And I don't know if that demand is there just yet. But it could be. It could totally be.
Here, man, I'm going to call it. I guarantee you somewhere in town somebody is developing the Stargate reboot. You know, they had toys at one point. Like, it's pre-sold, and they will always opt in favor of something known over something that's unknown. Even if, like, 10 people knew it, they're like, hey, man, that's somewhere to start with rather than ground zero trying to tell people what this new thing is. So, yeah, I think it's not a matter of time before we see some Stargate action, I guess. You look anticipatory. You're ready for it, man.
I just like Kurt Russell, so...
We all do. E1, give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Take your booty. Pleasure, my friend.
This man's birthday today.
Whose? What's your name, man?
My name's Chris.
What is it, Chris? Yeah. Everyone give it up for Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Did I hear correctly? It's your birthday today?
That's correct.
The fuck, man? How old are you?
42.
42. Let's sing happy
you look
birthday
good,
to you,
man.
man. You do look good. On the count of
thank you.
3. Chris it is, right?
Yes.
Here we go. Happy birthday to Chris. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you, Chris. Happy birthday to you, Chris. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Chris. Happy birthday to you. Welcome to 42, motherfucker. 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. If I remember
42?
correctly, is that
What is
correct?
the question?
Yep.
That's the problem.
That was the problem.
Mark, I love that shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Show him your shirt.
Very nice.
Sleeper's Awakening.
Dune as Jaws. Jaws is
Jaws.
Dune.
Question is, I know you're going to do your 28 recap next episode, so I won't ask you what your favorite season of TV was this year, but maybe your favorite episode of television this year, and what you're looking most forward in 2019.
Let me see. What was your... Here, start with you. I'll try to think of what
My favorite episode of television.
Mine was The Queen on Castle Rock.
Oh, thank you. That's yeah, it's an amazing episode. If you haven't seen Castle Rock, it is an episode about Sissy Spacek's character. She's playing a character named Ruth Deaver, and she has dementia. And so the episode is entirely in her POV of what dementia is like for her. Mm-hmm. And for her, it's like time travel, in that she can walk into a room and suddenly she's in 1973, or walk into that room and suddenly she's in 1982. And she does this thing where she takes chess pieces and uses it to anchor herself in the time she's supposed to be in. If she sees a chess piece, she knows, okay, now I'm back in 2018. And so it's all about her kind of investigating her own past and coming to terms with trauma and tragedy and hope and dreams, all while it feeling like it's almost like Quantum Leap-ish in a way. And it's heartbreaking by the end of it, because it's fucking Sissy Spacek and Scott Glenn, and it's about their romance in a town where bad things happen all the time. And it was written by showrunner Sam Shaw, who, when I started the show, we started a week late because his mother had just died of dementia, and so, or complications of dementia. And so he, that was, we knew very early on, it's like, no, we're doing this episode, it's gonna be about this, and I'm gonna write it because I have things I need to say. And it was, that process was helping him with just ammunition, just like, what do you need? Anything you need from us as the room, we're happy to give it, but we know that this is going to be your magnum opus. This is going to be your perfect crystal palace that you're gonna build to break hearts, which he did. And it's an amazing episode of TV, it really is. I'm trying to think of a TV episode this year that I saw that affected me quite that much, and I can't put one on my. I can tell you the show that I love the most, which might be easier. The Good Place. The Good Place is this remarkable combination of science fiction and metaphysics and just out and out fucking comedy. And there is not a weak link in that cast, and it's smarter than any other show on TV. And the thing that I love about it is every season it becomes a fundamentally different show. Like, the first season is, how did I end up in the good place? And then, spoiler alert, at the end of the first season, it's like, no, you're not in the good place, you're in the bad place. And then it becomes, why am I in the bad place? And then it resets itself every year, and it becomes something else totally different. And it is embarrassing to watch a show be that good and realize that you are not also that good. Because, it's amazing. If you're not watching it, you should, because it's maybe the best show on TV. Definitely the best network show on TV.
Wow. I don't know if it's my favorite episode, but my favorite moment, or I don't even know if it's my favorite, but it's a moment that has really stuck with me, and I still don't know why, was in the HBO show Succession. It was about a 10-episode series. I think it was the final episode, one of the main characters does something pretty heinous and gets away with it and slips back into a party. It's a wedding. And in the wedding, they're playing the Whitney Houston song, I Want to Dance With Somebody. And the dude, he's estranged from his family, he's divorced from his wife, but he's got kids with her and stuff. He winds up dancing with him. He gets back to the wedding. Nobody's aware of what he did while he was off premises. And his ex-wife waves him over where she's dancing with the kids, and he has this moment of absolute bliss dancing to this totally fucking fun Whitney Houston song, where the character for one brief moment is safe and who he wants to be, and this would be amazing if this was life, but life is about to intrude in a big fucking bad way 10 minutes after this. I found it fascinating. I thought it was a really well-played moment. And it was mostly just the actor's face. It was wordless dialogue. And it was well-played scene and well-written scene. But the actor whose name escapes me, he was the dude that was in The Big Short. He was the main character, the main son in Succession. Really fucking pulled it off. Just a magical moment about something very dark, but something very human. This dude is never going to have normalcy, and for one fucking moment, he's dancing at a dopey wedding with his wife and kids the way anybody else would. It was I don't know, it stuck with me. All right, so there was that moment, but I can't think of. I can tell you about two things I watched recently, which I did love, and they weren't series though. I saw Assassination Nation. I bought that on iTunes and watched it, and that was one of those movies where I was like, fuck, man, I got to step up my game. It's insanely well made, insanely well shot. Ideas that communicate, with a current generation. Made me feel old, and that's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Really well made. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. Couldn't turn it off. Was riveted. And then, what was the second thing I watched? Sorry to Bother You. Did you see this?
I did, yeah.
Oh,
That's a great
fuck.
movie.
It's wonderful. Just absolute breathtaking, high wire indie film act with great performances across the board. Tessa Thompson continues to be, I think, one of my favorite actresses on the planet. Everything she's in, she's just so fucking winning and stuff. And I watched Creed 2. Did you see Creed 2?
I still haven't seen Creed 2.
It's a sequel. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's totally entertaining, but it's weird. Like it feels like now, like people don't really do sequels anymore. They keep a story going and shit, and it's like this is the new chapter and whatnot. And it's the follow-up movie isn't really like technically a sequel. Like we're taking the ideas and the villains, just doing it again. Creed 2 kind of felt like that. Like he's having another fight. Like that's the whole plot. And the fact that he fights Drago's kid is what makes it kind of like, that's why I like this fight. But it felt like a sequel. Like that was it. They didn't break insanely new ground, but I was entertained the whole way. I love the plot device. I love that they, at one point, spoilers, there's some spoilers, they even brought back Brigitte Nielsen.
Wow.
I was watching the movie going, somebody gives a shit, man. Like somebody really cared enough to be like, call up Brigitte Nielsen, man. And it probably had to be Sylvester Stallone, and they used to be involved. It sent me down a rabbit hole where I was like, weren't they a couple and shit? And I was like, how did this happen? Like I was so involved in whatnot. So it's definitely worth watching. But Michael Jordan looks fucking amazing. It's the only, I was watching the movie the whole time going like, that is humanly possible because he's also a human and he's done this. I can't do that. But I could because I see that it's humanly possible, but I'm like, yeah, but only if you're superhuman, like, which that guy seems like he is.
Or if that is your entire job for like 4 months, is to wake up and eat and train and eat and maybe take a nap and eat and train and eat and sleep and rinse and repeat. And that's what that dude does for like, to look like that.
Did you ever see on Twitter, I see every once in a while, like, you know, if you go to the main top stories or whatever the fuck, you know, they'll put like under it a bunch of tweets of people you don't follow and shit, but like they'll do, in my groupings, it's like, because you like comic book tweets, here's some comic book people. Because you like comedians, here's some comedians. Because you've liked Marvel movies, here's Chris Hemsworth. And I love Chris Hemsworth, the actor and whatnot, but I would never put him in my timeline because he would make me feel bad every day. Because he's constantly fucking posting workout videos. And he posted this one video where he's like out in a fucking public park and he's doing this like absolutely grueling looking squat thrust thing where you're twisting from side to side. If I had done one, I'd be like, my back, and just gone the fuck out. And he's like, you know, starting 2019 the right way. And I'm like, fuck you, Thor. Like, wait, did we cover everything?
You did.
And
We did. That means you win shit for
Thank
your
you.
birthday,
Thank
man.
you.
Come get it.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. You know what? We got one more thing.
You got one more thing?
Yeah, we can
Oh,
give
you
away.
forgot the tickets.
Yeah, take the
Chris.
tickets.
We also got one more
Those
set
are
of
some
tickets.
2DX tickets, for heaven's sakes. What do you got there?
One more set of tickets.
Do we?
Yeah, if you
Oh,
want.
shit. We get
Okay.
to do it one more time. All right, pick someone else, Zach.
We got cat ears.
Cat ears! Give it up for cat ears, man.
She did already win something today.
I did.
I know, but she can win more.
You're giving tickets. I don't need them. It's okay. I
Take
just
them, man.
wanted
It's
to
a
ask
2DX
them,
experience. How are you, Jane? I understand
I'm
you've
great,
had
thank
a rough holiday. You were
I really did.
in
but
the dumps and shit.
yeah,
I feel
still
you.
going on. Lawyer
Still?
stuff. Yeah.
We'll pull you out of it.
We'll get out of it.
This will pull you out of it. A Blunt Man and Chronic rolling tray
Absolutely.
from the good folks at Famous Brands.
It'll be
Tickets to
pure
the
green in
2DX.
4 days.
Totally. What can we do you for?
I was going to ask. Sorry, I'm in the wrong spot now.
You're in the absolute right spot.
Okay. How come with, every time anybody asks you guys questions, you keep coming up with male names for who can direct this or that?
Yeah.
Have you guys thought about female directors or their place, or even just female parts, off screen more? I know you're doing a women in film thing coming up pretty soon. But how can we change that where you don't just think of Ridley Scott or James Cameron for these movies.
So damn true. Yeah, I'm hardwired to always be like, ooh, this person, and shit. Oddly enough, I'm never hardwired to be like me as a director. I'll reference other people and stuff. But yeah, you're right. It's, I guess, because most of my life the directors have been predominantly male. That's changing though right now, which is great. So it's a matter of retraining, I guess, and starting to go like, okay, now it's very easy to be like, oh well, Patty Jenkins could do it.
Name another.
I know, that's the problem. It's just like, well, Lexi Alexander has always been like somebody that I champion just because I saw her Punisher flick and was like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, this is hands down one of the best action movies I've ever seen. I can go fancy and say Jane Campion because I love the piano. Let me see. Then it starts getting hard.
I guess it was maybe 8-9 months ago or so when Kathleen Kennedy announced that she was giving the Game of Thrones guys a trilogy, like a Star Wars trilogy. They get out a fucking trilogy. And it was like, yeah, okay, I get it. Benioff and Weiss, sure, they're just a Game of Thrones. They're amazing storytellers. I get it. I totally get it. But I also couldn't help but wonder, and this was part of a larger conversation about who gets to tell Star Wars stories, right? And if you grind the numbers and you look at everybody who's made a Star Wars movie, everybody credited above the line, writer, director, producer in a Star Wars movie, there is, aside from Kathleen Kennedy, there was one name that is not a white dude. And it's Lee Brackett, who co-wrote Empire Strikes Back. And so for 30 years, we have seen one particular version of that story. And some of them are great, some of them are not, whatever, however you feel about it. But we've been looking through that monocle. And so I kind of went on Twitter and I'm like, listen, some of these are great and that decision makes all the sense in the world in a vacuum. But larger than that, who gets to tell these stories? Don't tell me that like Shonda Rhimes doesn't have a Star Wars story she wants to tell. Ava doesn't have one. Karen Kusama doesn't have one. Jane Campion doesn't have one. Cheryl Dunye doesn't have one. Patty Jenkins doesn't have one. There's a vast fucking list. Vic Mahoney doesn't have one. There's a ton of female directors out there who I'm sure maybe like science fiction, maybe don't, but if you said you can have a Star Wars movie, they'd find one.
To do it.
They'd find one to tell.
Yeah.
And so yes, there are far too many women, female directors who are not getting the boost that they should, and some of it is like Kev said, it's just, we had been trained for so long, especially coming up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where most of the great directors, most of the fetishization about directors was your Scorseses and your De Palmas and your Woody Allens.
And also, let's be honest too, it seems to be very male dominated, but it's a business that's like, hey, did that person make a movie that made money? Get that person again. So if you can keep a streak going, you'll always get fucking called first.
There were more
men
like working, there were women, and there is some stat saying that female directors take 200% longer between first movie and second movie to get that one made. It was something like 8 years between Monster and Wonder Woman for Patty Jenkins.
She'd done some TV though, right?
She did some TV, but Monster's a great movie. It won Charlize Theron an Oscar.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman's a great movie. It, probably will win a special effects Oscar. Did
Was
it
she
win?
on a Marvel movie and then off it or something, Patty Jenkins?
She was on Thor: The Dark World.
Thor: Dark World.
But it's just, there was for some reason, and it's a systemic reason, but it takes longer for women to get that second job, to get that second shot, because it's seen as a risk. Can she pull it off? I don't know. Of course she can pull it off. She's a fucking director.
Yeah.
And the mindset is beginning to change, and those second chances are coming faster for people. And we're now at a point where if you say, hey, I want to sell this movie, who's going to direct it? And you say, Ava, that movie's going to get made, in a way that doesn't apply for 90% of the male directors working. It's shifting slowly, gently. Maybe it needs to be more forcefully, but it's shifting. And to be able to summon to mind, a dozen female directors who can make a Star Wars movie is something to work towards, I think, for the industry as well as for me.
Or even the Guardians 2, right? If they're looking for a director for that.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Yeah. 3, sorry. 3.
Yeah, why not?
Michelle McLaren could direct the fuck out of Guardians 3.
Or Rachel Talalay, who does a phenomenal job almost every other week on Flash and
Doctor Who,
on all the CW stuff, Doctor Who, and was at this comic book movie stuff long before anyone else when she made Tank Girl. I'm all for it. Believe me, I ain't trying to take the jobs. I don't want them. They should give them to people who are passionate about them, and I guarantee you there are a bunch of women out there way passionate about playing with these toys just as much as the big boys. But believe me, I'm not in anybody's way. It's just hard for me to come up with names, but I got to retrain myself to do that. Because a lot of the TV I watch winds up being directed by women all the time. So yeah, that's something I'll work on in 2019.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, you win a tray and tickets, Carriers. Excellent seeing you. All right, we've answered questions. We've given out shit. We've talked about the news. Is there anything possible left to discuss?
I mean, world peace, but we won't fix that now.
Perhaps next episode. It's been how long since we did this?
2 months.
All fucking holiday long. I was like, fuck, I can't wait and stuff. It was nice to come home and do this surrounded with y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, have you had a good time this afternoon? I cannot thank you enough for coming out and joining us here at the Scum Villainy Cantina, but let's be honest, there is no show without the smart one. Give it up to for the man to my left, Mr. Marc fucking Bernardin, WGA nominated Marc Bernardin. And that is Fatman on Batman for this week. I'm Kevin Smith.
Fatman Beyond for this
Fuck.
week. I know. It's been a minute.
Fuck. And it's staring me right in the face, too. That is Fatman Beyond for this week, man. I'm Kevin Smith.
Marc Bernardin.
Tune in next time. Same fat time, same fat channel. Smodcast.com or
YouTube.com/Kevin Smith.
go beyond, ladies and gentlemen. Good night!
Fatman Beyond.